Welcome back to LatiNation. I'm your host, Humberto Guida. Now, up next, Bronx native funny man Mark Viera is having quite the year. Like most comedians, Mark has been a regular around the comedy club circuit nationwide, but it's his new show called Laff Tracks, airing on TruTV, that is helping introduce Mark to a wider audience. Now, whether he's talking about his crazy marriage, his growing family, or doing one of his dead-on celebrity impressions, Mark takes his audience on a hilarious, heartfelt journey, finding enjoyment in the absurdities of life, which he does right here on LatiNation.
Just left my family back home. Always miss them when I leave, man. Miss my kids. I got 2 boys, 4, and I love my boys, man. But there's something about kids. I think kids were designed to drive you out your mind.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mark Viera, and I am a comedian originally from the Bronx, New York City.
I left that open one day and left the house. Didn't even think about it. I came home, she was waiting like this. Really? Who is this right here?
The journey started now about 17 years ago. And when you start kind of learning your voice in comedy, that is really the hardest part. Not knowing that you harbor your own spirit, that you harbor your own funny. And later on, 17 years later, I don't look far out of Mark Viera. I don't look out of myself for what's funny. I went through episodes where all I talked about was growing up. Just, wow, I grew up without ever asking for anything, because my grandmother, every time we went out, said, don't ask me for nothing, ni me pregunta, because, those were the rules. When you went out to a store when you were a kid, the rules were simple. I think that that's where the gift is taking some of the hardest times and making that funny.
We're gonna go inside the supermarket, okay? Don't ask me for nothing. Do you understand that? Don't even ask. You know why? Because I'm gonna punch you right in the face, okay?
I have a fantastic show that is currently airing on TruTV. It's called Laff Laff Tracks. I was involved in the inception of this show, and I think those who watched the show really grew an affection for what I was doing on that show. I also have a fantastic show at Carnegie Hall. It's called Nombres of Comedy, and I share the stage with 2 legends, Joey Vega and comedian Ruperto Vanderpool. This is an English comedy show, or I'll call it Spanglish, and we do a lot of English and we mix in our own little crazy Spanish words.
She's about this big. Fellas, don't ever judge a woman's insanity by her size. Do you understand me? I don't know how they fit all the devil in this bitch, but they did. They packed it in.
For me, I'm just telling my story, and the beauty of comedy is that it allows me to do exactly that. It never tells me, don't say that. But Hollywood has yet to find a home for the assimilated Latino. They think you're either Telemundo or you're Sofia Vergara. More accent, more accento, or more hood. Right away, they want to remove the texture from who we are and replace it with a more acceptable texture. And I always say, when you tell my story, it's gotta have the grain that comes with my story. Again, coming from such humble beginnings, starting this thing off of a whim, and looking back 17 years and seeing that my opportunities came from the New York City comedy club circuit. That is so amazing. To be playing Carnegie Hall for the first time in my entire career is a big deal. This is really the beginning. When I look at now getting meetings with big television executives, this is just the beginning of my journey. It's taken me 17 years to start. And I definitely want people to know that this is now no longer amateur night. And so the beautiful thing is, my paintings are just beginning, man. People can come out and enjoy and experience all the great things with me. I don't want to do this alone.
First day with the cell phone, he texts me from his bedroom. He texts me, Daddy, what's for dinner? I went in his room because it was all in capitals. And I said, no, you ain't gonna yell at me in my house. You understand me? Y'all know, right? I like when you text me, you lowercase.